Hello, I am Sambhav Sharma and you are watching APN Live. In the backdrop of Russia-Ukraine crisis, we are going to discuss how this crisis could impact India's trade in the region and what would be its economic cost for India. Bilateral trade between India and Russia stood at $9.4 billion so far this fiscal against $8.1 billion in 2020-2021. India's main imports from Russia include fuels, mineral oils, pearls, precious or semi-precious stones, nuclear reactors, boilers, electrical machinery, and equipments including fertilizers. While major export items from India to Russia include pharmaceutical products, electrical machinery and equipments, organic chemicals, and vehicles. On the other hand, India's bilateral trade with Ukraine stood at $2.3 billion so far this fiscal, as against $2.5 billion in last fiscal. The main items of Indian import from Ukraine are agricultural products, metallurgical products, plastics, and polymers, while pharmaceuticals, machinery, chemicals, food items are the major Indian exports to Ukraine. Just about 1.6% of all imports that came into India in 2020 were sourced from Russia, and about 1.3% of all exports from India were destined to Russia. Speaking of the impact of it on stock market, the benchmark stock indices suffered their worst day in a year on Thursday. They fell 4.8%. While prices breached $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014, which is perhaps India's biggest macroeconomic challenge. India is world's third largest importer of oil and relies on other countries for more than 80% of its crude oil requirements. The global price benchmark of crude oil hit $105 a barrel after yesterday's event. This could push India's oil import bill, worsening its external position. Higher oil prices aggravate India's inflation, widen the current account deficit, and put pressure on the rupee. The rupee weakened 1.5% to 75.65 against the dollar. A 10% increase in crude oil prices will increase India's current account deficit by $15 billion or 0.4% of GDP, leading to depreciation of domestic currency. From evacuation of Indian students to managing inflation and other economic consequences from the fallout of a Russia-Ukraine crisis, the government has a rocky road ahead.